Welcome to Blockchain Tech and Finance with me, your host, Ken. If you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe right here at Blockchain Tech and Finance. I've got a slew of different articles to read through from today. I'm just going to check the monitor levels on the recap before I go right on into it. If you're in the chat, go ahead and throw your chats in there. If you have news articles, if you're watching on the recap that you think is important, go ahead and throw it in the comments, and you might just find it right up here on the stream during the weekdays coverage. So, all right, monitor's great. Let's go right on into it with the market. We have the U.S. market data. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.5%. Let me check my. There we go. Cool. All right. It's up 0.5%. The Nasdaq Composite is down 0.61%. S&P 500 is up 0.22%. The Global Dow Real Time is down 0.05%. The Gold Continuous Futures is down 0.39%, and crude oil is 0.8% in the red. We got the Europe markets. FTSE 100 index is up 0.28%. The DAX is up 0.48%. Pretty much everything's in the green in Europe markets. CAC 40 is 0.83% in the green. FTSE MIB is up 0.67%. The IBEX 35 is up 0.6, almost 0.67%. Stock 600 up 0.63%. Asia Dow Real Index is down 0.86%. Nikkei 225 is down 0.88%. Hang Seng is down 0.12%. Shanghai Composite is up 0.72%. The S&P BSE Sensex is down 0.41%. FTSE Straits is down 1.07%. S&P ASX 200 benchmark is down 0.21%. The Kospi index is down 0.69%. In the currencies market, in Forex, we got the euro 0.03% in the green. Japanese yen is up 1%. So enjoy your 1% gains on that if you're a Forex trader. British pound is up 0.27%. Australia dollar is up 0.27%. The US dollar index is down 0.01%. And the WSJ dollar index is up 0.15%. In cryptocurrency markets, we have Bitcoin at $21,621 per BTC is down 0.54%. Ethereum in USD is $1,483.10, down 1.91%. In the rates markets, we have the U.S. Treasury note in the green, 0.004. Germany 10-year government bond in the green, 0.015. Italy 10-year government bond in the green, 0.017. Spain 10-year government bond, 0.007 in the green. UK 10-year gilt is in the green, 0.04%. And the Japan 10-year government bond is in the green, 0.013%. Not percent, points. And crude oil on the futures market we got is in the red, 0.82%. Gold continuous futures is in the red, 0.39%. E-mini NASDAQ 100 continuous contract is in the green, 0.43%. E-mini Dow continuous contract is in the green, 0.01%. E-mini S&P 500 futures is 1.6%. 0.16% in the green. Silver's continuous contract is down 0.57%. Let's go right into the first article I have to note and read from today. SEC lawsuit against Paxos over BUSD baffles the crypto community. So Paxos is the issuer for the BUSD stablecoin through Binance. So this is from some pretty new news here. Ezra Reguera, writer reporter for Cointelegraph. Paxos Trust Company issued stablecoin Binance USD. The BUSD being the sites of the United States regulators sparked various reactions from the crypto community. On February 13th, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) issued a Wells notice to Paxos, alleging that BUSD is an unregistered security. On the same day, the New York Department of Financial Services (NYDFS) ordered Paxos to halt issuance of BUSD as Paxos faces regulatory scrutiny on several fronts. Various members of the crypto community took to Twitter to give their takes on the situation, from disregarding the issue as FUD to calling it an attack against the Binance exchange. Crypto community members laid down various theories on the allegations that BUSD is an unregistered security. Crypto analyst Miles Dutcher expressed his thoughts in a tweet, arguing that nobody expects profit when purchasing a stablecoin. He tweeted, it still doesn't matter. The SEC is like black and white. They're just going to go like, listen, did you register this? No? Okay, well, then we're filing a lawsuit against you for unregistered security, especially when you're trading with a Binance U.S. marketplace and you have BUSD on there. So either which way, they're going to just do their job and uphold the laws that's set forth in the SEC. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's kind of like big news, and to me, I speculate, at least in an opinion based, that The U.S. is just gearing up to launch a stable coin of their own in a virtual currency because to compete against the China CNY blockchain-backed currency that they're working on. That's actually I got some news from that to read from here because they're actually partnering up with basically the UAE, China, and the UAE. So. Similarly, the synonymous trader Tree of Alpha was baffled by the new development. The community member questioned how it was considered a security and asked their followers if they were buying BUSD with the expectation that it would go to $2. Again, like I said, I'm going to skip over that a little bit because it doesn't matter to the SEC. They're just going to fine you and make you register as a security. Bitcoin BTC analyst also echoed the sentiments that BUSD might not be meeting the criteria for security. The analyst suggested that the event may simply be a shot at Binance. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Obviously, it's a developing story. This is brand new, so let's keep going. All right, from VentureBeat, using the blockchain to prevent data breaches. This is from Janelle Fulton Brown, writer-reporter for VentureBeat. Yeah, okay, so data breaches have unfortunately become an all too common reality. The Verona's 2021 Data Risk Report indicates that most corporations have poor cybersecurity practices and unprotected data, making them vulnerable to cyber attacks and data loss, with a single data breach costing a company an average of $3.86 million and eroding a brand's reputation and its consumers' trust. Mitigating the risk is no longer a luxury, however, as cyber attacks get more pervasive and sophisticated, merely patching up traditional cybersecurity measures may not be enough to fend off future data breaches. Instead, it's imperative to start seeking more advanced security solutions. As far as innovative solutions go, preventing data breaches by utilizing the blockchain may be our best hope. So blockchain technology 101 is also referred to as distributed ledger technology, DLT. In the culmination of decades of research and advancement in cryptography and cybersecurity, the term blockchain was first popularized thanks to cryptocurrency as its technology behind the record-keeping of the Bitcoin network. This technology makes it extremely difficult to change or hack a system, as it allows for the data to be recorded and distributed but not copied. Since it provides a brand new approach to storing data securely, it can be a promising solution for data breaches in any environment with high security requirements. Built on the idea of P2P, peer-to-peer networks, a blockchain is a public digital ledger of stored data shared across a whole network of computer systems. Each block holds several transactions, and whenever a new transaction happens, a record of that transaction gets added to every network's participant's ledger. It's a robust encryption and decentralized. It's robust encryption and decentralized and immutable nature could be the answer to preventing data breaches. So on enhancing data security via encryption, the worldwide webinar inventor Tim Berners-Lee has said recently that we've lost control of our personal data. Companies store enormous amounts of personally identifiable information, PII, including usernames, passwords, payment details, and even social security numbers, as the Domino's data leak in India, amongst others, has made clear. While this data is almost always encrypted, it's never as secure as it would be in a blockchain. By making use of the best aspects of cryptography, blockchain can finally put an end to data breaches. How can a shared ledger be more secure than standard encryption methods? To secure stored data, a blockchain employs two different types of cryptographic algorithms: hash functions, and asymmetric key algorithms. This way, the data can only be shared with the member's consent, and they can also specify how the recipient of their data can use the data in the window of time in which the recipient is allowed to do so. In hash functions, when the first transaction of a chain occurs, the blockchain's code gives it a unique hash value. As more transactions occur, their hash values are then hashed and encoded into a Merkle tree, thereby creating a block. Every block gets a unique hash, and with the hash, the previous block's header and timestamp encoded. So this creates a link between the two blocks, which in turn become the first link in the chain. Since this link is created using unique information from each block, the two are immutably bound. And so for the asymmetric encryption, get these ads off of there. Asymmetric encryption, also known as public key cryptography, encrypts plain text using two keys: a private key that's typically produced via a random number algorithm, and a public one. The public key is available freely and can be transferred over unsecured channels. On the other hand, the private key is kept a secret so that only the user can know it. Without it, it's almost impossible to access data. It functions as a digital signature like real-world signatures. This way, blockchain gives individual consumers the ability to manage their own data and specify with whom to share it over cryptographically encoded networks. For decentralization, a primary reason for the increase in data breaches and over-reliance on centralized servers. Once consumers and app users enter their personal data, it's directly written into the company's database, and the user doesn't get much say in what happens to it afterwards. Even if users attempt to limit the data the company can share with third parties, there will be loopholes to exploit. As the Facebook Cambridge Analytic data mining scandal showed, the results of such centralization can be catastrophic. Additionally, even assuming goodwill, the company's servers would still get hacked by cyber criminals. In contrast, blockchains are decentralized, immutable records of data. This decentralization eliminates the need for one trusted, centralized authority to verify data integrity. Instead, it allows users to share in a trustless environment. Each member has access to their own data, a system known as the zero-knowledge storage. This also makes the network less likely to fall victim to hackers. Unless they bring down the whole network simultaneously, the undamaged nodes will quickly detect the intrusion. Since decentralization reduces points of weakness, blockchains also have a much lower chance of succumbing to IP-based DDoS attacks than centralized systems using client servers architectures. I mean, even DDoS attacks would be like severely hard because you have a distributed ledger. So between nodes sharings. Immutability. In addition to being decentralized, blockchains are also designed to be immutable, which increases data integrity. The blockchain's immutability makes all the data stored therein almost impossible to alter. Because every individual in the network has access to a copy of the distributed ledger, any corruption that occurs in a member's ledger will automatically cause it to be rejected by the rest of the network members. Therefore, an alteration or a change in the block data will lead to inconsistency and break the blockchain, rendering it invalid. That's when forks happen and stuff like that. The bottom line, even though blockchain technology has been around since 2009, it has much untapped potential in the field of cybersecurity, especially when it comes to preventing data breaches. The top-notch cryptography employed by blockchain protocols guarantees the safety of all data stored in the ledger, making a promising solution. Let's see, since nodes running the blockchain can almost always verify any transaction validity before it's executed, cybercriminals are almost guaranteed to be stopped in their tracks before they gain access to any private data. Let's see. Yeah. So that's that. A little bit insight on how using the blockchain to prevent data breaches can succeed. Innovation overall. Next article is from Cointelegraph. Blockchain tech still far from hitting the esports big league, says an investor. This is from Stephen Katz or Cates or something, writer reporter for Cointelegraph. So, small esports tournament organizers have started dabbling in blockchain tech to host tournaments and distribute prize pools. However, don't expect to see it in the big leagues just yet, says an investor. Esports or electronic sports is a form of organized competition via video games. Players, sometimes referred to as esports athletes, usually compete for prize money, either individually or as a team. Dave Harris, managing director of esports investment from Guinevere Capital, told Cointelegraph that he has begun seeing blockchain being used in amateur gaming competitions. In his opinion, however, it will take more time before the big titles and professional tournaments will consider adopting the tech. There are certainly a lot of places the technology can or is being used in esports, but it will take time for mass adoption into the mainstream titles and events. And as always, the major game publishers are the kingmakers, he said. Ivy Fung, general manager at Esports Player League ESPL, says she believes blockchain technology is a strong fit when it comes to distributing prize pools. So in a screenshot up here, tournaments of some upcoming tournaments listed as ESPL. The Singapore-based company operates a blockchain-powered platform distributing prize money through digital assets like non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and crypto tokens directly into the winner's digital wallets. According to Fung, the use of blockchain makes the distribution of the prize pool far easier because it bypasses barriers such as cross-border transfer fees charged by traditional banks. When you're, in quote, when you're talking about a global tournament, you need an effective way to distribute the prize pool so you don't have to wait for the winner to give us their bank account and then verify all these things. The prizes are, however, nowhere near those of international esports tournaments, which can be in the millions of dollars. Let's see. So Harris believes that blockchain and Web3 have a vital part to play in esports, but thinks that future developments will need to look outside the box to really attract mainstream attention. There may be more efficient ways of using the technology to track and display results, but I'm not sure this is really going to shift the dial, he said. Yeah, I think the model that allows user-generated content to be commercialized and revenue fairly distributed amongst all stakeholders is an opportunity for the industry, he added. So gaming enthusiasts have a love-hate relationship with crypto, particularly when NFTs are involved. An October survey from Coda Labs found traditional gamers weren't a fan of cryptocurrencies or NFTs, rating their feelings at 4.5 and 4.3 out of 10 respectively. French gaming giant Ubisoft Entertainment was slammed last year over its NFT project Quartz, forcing the company to later backpedal on plans to integrate NFTs into its games. Despite this, Harris said that ultimately the tech will benefit gamers, stating, end quote, in principle, actually owning in-game items and potentially being able to transfer them to other games or environments is a good proposition for gamers. The actual technology will be used more and more in the future, but I think there is currently skepticism and in some cases pushback from the community where the tech is to date has often manifested in what they see as over-commercialization to get rich quick schemes. He added, I think the learning curve is definitely there, said Fung. There will definitely be people who go against it, but as long as we can show them the benefits of using this system, I think they will adopt it sooner or later. That will be the norm. Everybody will be using it, she added. The total market value of the esports industry is forecasted to reach $1.62 billion in 2024, according to data released by Exploding Topics. So that's that. Blockchain tech will still far from hitting the esports big leagues, says investors. From Yahoo Finance, China International Blockchain BSN Spartan gets new push in the Middle East and Africa. This is from Timmy Shen, Reddit reporter for Yahoo Finance. Red Date Technology, developer of China's state-backed blockchain infrastructure, blockchain-based service network BSN, has partnered Dubai-based fintech firm Singularity Innovations to offer blockchain infrastructure services in the Middle East and Africa. So for Fast Facts, as part of the collaboration, Singularity Finance, an Egypt-based unit of Singularity Innovations, will also promote the BSN Spartan Network, a non-cryptocurrency framework available only outside the Chinese mainland, said Red Date in a Monday statement. Mo Taser, Chief Executive Officer of Singularity Innovation, said the partnership enables the infrastructure to power international interoperable enterprise blockchain solutions in various fields, including global trade, supply chain, identity, carbon credits, and personal data management. In September, Red Date launched a BSN Spartan Network. It's a new international network for public blockchains with no cryptocurrency involved. BSN, regarded by some market participants as leading the digital equivalent of Beijing's multi-billion-dollar Belt and Road Infrastructure Plan, was founded in 2020 to help shape China's Web 3.0 infrastructure. It has powerful backers, including the National Development and Reform Commission, which sets and executes national economic policy. The BSN Spartan Network, only available outside mainland China, supports 3 public chains: Ethereum, Cosmos, and Polygon Edge, and non-crypto versions that are hard forks of their original public chain frameworks. BSN said that in its Spartan white paper released in September, such a non-crypto foundation, which is in line with China's stance after it banned crypto trading in September 2021, could appeal to some businesses that are keen to test blockchain capabilities but are put off by crypto's price volatility, according to BSN. So yeah, China's international blockchain BSN Spartan gets new push in Middle East and Africa, and I'm speculating again in my opinion that this has something to do with maybe wrapped up eventually at some certain point or some certain extent to the CNY digital ledgered new currency backed by blockchain platform being issued out by China. Cointelegraph, first weekly death cross ever, 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. This is from William Suberg, writer reporter for Cointelegraph. So Bitcoin BTC has started a new week just under 22,000 as bulls fail to reclaim lost ground in February. So as I was noting in a past article, past stream, we were talking about the Bitcoin golden cross. Well, now we're basically at instead a death cross. So after modest volatility toward the weekly close, which I'm still calling like Bitcoin to be down to like 10K, but we'll have to see. I mean, the Feds just raised the debt ceiling, so we'll see how the economy is going along with the ride of Bitcoin. After modest volatility toward the weekly close, or how Bitcoin's going along with the ride with the macroeconomy. After modest volatility toward the weekly close, BTC/USD is still near 3-week lows as a new status quo enters with 22,000 as resistance. However, the large cryptocurrency stands at the beginning of an important week of macroeconomic data with plenty of opportunities for volatility to return. These first And these come first and foremost in the form of the January print of the United States Consumer Price Index CPI, which will be released on February 14th. Other data prints will follow throughout the week, with analysts keenly eyeing the responses of the crypto market in US dollar. Within Bitcoin circles, data shows whales are taking the opportunity to buy at current levels in the glimmer of hope for those hoping that the 2023 Bitcoin price recovery may continue. At the same price, a formidable new chart event is causing discomfort for some. Can Bitcoin avoid significant downside as its first ever weekly death cross confirms? Cointelegraph looks at these issues and more in the weekly digest of potential Bitcoin market triggers in the week ahead. Bitcoin confirms the weekly chart breakdown at around 21,800. The latest weekly close had few surprises in store for those on either side of the Bitcoin trade. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView shows its lowest since mid-January. The event sealed a long-awaited retracement for BTC/USD after it spent January experiencing most unhindered upward price action. Now attention is focusing on key support levels, holding these mostly in the form of long-term trend lines reclaimed as support during the January run-up. In a fresh update for Twitter followers on February 13th, popular trader Crypto Tony confirmed that 21,400 was where the situation might get interesting. From here, we can really assess whether the bulls have it in them to save the bears or lead them to slaughter. Part of commentary read. BTC/USD annotated chart right here. Zooming in, fellow account Dan Crypto Trades noted that BTC/USD, the pairing, sat between the 200 period and the 400 period exponential moving average EMA on 4-hour time frames. It looks like we'll open up with a small gap below us as we speak. Overall, just a choppy weekend for BTC with some alts popping, waiting for CPI. Probably won't make any actions before that, he summarized. So in an annotated chart source from Dan Crypto Trades on Twitter, meanwhile, a more formidable line in the stand comes in the form of the 200-day moving average. While still at 20,000, the level is now important for bulls to remain in control. The picture is no better on weekly timeframes. Trader and analyst Rect Capital warns, flagging 21,839 as the point of interest. He said that that a weekly close below this would confirm the breakdown and the BTC USD pair, a move that ultimately came true. That same level had acted as resistance several times since the middle of last year. Most important CPI print arrives. So the macro landscape is set to be dominated on one data point this week with the February 14th release of the CPI for January. Bets are on for inflation continuing to decline in a move that would still buoy risk assets despite a come down in early February. The picture is complicated by a reshuffling of how CPI is calculated, but analysts dispute its significance versus the overall trend of inflation receding. However, this month's print is being closely eyed far beyond crypto circles. Tuesday's CPI report is the most important report to date. After a strong January jobs report and December CPI revised higher, uncertainty is everywhere. Capital Markets newsletter, the Kobesi letter, told Twitter followers at the weekend both bulls and bears need the report to go their way. Whichever side is right will drive the market for the next month. Popular traders and analysts, Miles. I kind of want to start skipping around here. This just goes on and on and on. Yeah, no, wait. No, let's get some final closing points here, and we'll keep going on. And definitely research this. Read through this article on own due diligence if you are really a Bitcoin maxi of day trading. So and weekly trading or a speculative investor in the basically Q1, Q2 near-term valuations of Bitcoin. Hodlers bounce back to health regardless of what the whales choose to do. The average hodler has yet to take profit, data shows, and according to on-chain data analytics from Glassnode, long-term holders, LTHs, have been accumulating new positions in particular over the past month. Its hodler net position change metric 3-month highs on February 13th marking a return to holding behavior not seen since the FTX debacle. So Bitcoin hodler net position change chart up there. And let's see, closing point here. Conditions are also improving for those LTHs opting to cash out some of their coins. In the previous edition of this weekly's newsletter, the week on chain, Glassnode described profitability as recovering in 2023. It referenced the spent output profit ratio SOPR metric, which measures the relative proportion in profit coins appearing in transactions, assessing to long-term hodler cohort. We can observe the persistent regime of sustained losses since the Luna collapse, he wrote. Despite this cohort continuing to take losses over the 9 months, there are initial signs of a recovery with potential uptrend in LTH SOPR starting to form. So the Bitcoin LTH SOPR chart screenshot right here. This views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the authors alone and not necessarily reflected or represented in the views and opinions of Cointelegraph. So that's that right there for get my first weekly death cross ever. 5 things to know about Bitcoin for this coming whole entire week and probably leading up for the futures as well. In Cointelegraph, we're going to shift over into some NFT news here. France's top modern art museum to display CryptoPunks, autoglyphs, NFTs. Paris's leading contemporary art museums, Centre Pompidou, announced on February 10th an upcoming permanent exhibition targeting the intersection between art and the blockchain represented by non-fungible tokens, NFTs. According to an announcement on February 10th, the center will feature NFTs from over 16 digital artists around the world, including popular collectibles such as CryptoPunk 110 and Autoglyph number 25, both donated to the center. Centre. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. I'm not French, so. Xavier Ray, director of the French National Museum of Modern Art, noted that the Centre Pompidou is pursuing its interest in digital art in connection with the blockchain. According to Ray, Web3 is Web3 is an innovative territory that artists have now seized upon to create original and daring work. And this collection reaffirms our support for artists and their conquest of new means of expression, which is the foundation of modern art. The exhibition scheduled for the spring marks NFT's first display at the internationally renowned Centre Pompidou, home to other artists' masterpieces such as Vasily Kandinsky, Frida Kahlo, and Henri Matisse. NFT creator Yuga Labs, which has owned the intellectual property IP of CryptoPunks since March 2022, said the initiative is part of a legacy project that donates punks to leading art institutions worldwide. The company already donated CryptoPunk number 305 to the Institute of Contemporary Art, Miami. Seeing CryptoPunk number 110 displayed in the Centre Pompidou, arguably the world's most prestigious contemporary art museum, is a great moment for the Web3 and NFT ecosystem, and we're honored to help drive this cultural conversation, commented Yuga Labs co-founder Greg Solano. NFTs are digital assets that represent real-world objects like art, music, in-game items, and videos based on distributed ledger technology. Music as well. Based on distributed ledger technology, NFTs can serve as a method of authentication for buyers of unique items, proving aspects such as ownership. Running out of oxygen. All right, so it's from Bitcoin.com. In the news from Sergio Gochenko, writer reporter for Metaverse sector, Bitcoin.com. Microsoft reportedly shutting down industrial metaverse focus group. Software giant Microsoft is shutting down one of its most significant groups dedicated to the development and promotion of the industrial metaverse. According to reports, the company terminated its whole industrial metaverse core group, which was composed of 100 employees, as part of the 10,000-person layoff rounds announced in January. Microsoft reportedly terminating industrial metaverse group. Microsoft, the Washington-based software giant, seems to be abandoning the metaverse in favor of other initiatives. According to reports from the information, the company announced internationally the disbandment of the industrial metaverse core group, a division of the company directed to bring the metaverse to industrial environments. And this is speculative too, because they're shifting a lot of investment over into AI. And that's actually the norm right now. Metaverse yesterday and AI's today, basically. Microsoft, the Washington as investable vehicles. Microsoft, the Washington-based software giant, seems to be abandoning the metaverse in favor of other initiatives. According to reports from the information, the company announced internally the disbandment of the industrial metaverse core group, a division of the company directed to bring the metaverse to industrial environments. The group, which was formed just 4 months ago, served as a bridge for the implementation of metaverse interfaces to control electrical power plants, industrial robotics, and transportation networks. The division was part of the efforts directed to bring the metaverse to industrial environments by bridging software to this initiative. The 100 employees that were part of the group were laid off. However, Microsoft has said that the products built by the group will continue to be supported in the future, the company said. So yeah, we need you, don't need you anymore, see ya. That's basically what they've done. We are applying our focus to the areas in the industrial metaverse that matters most to our customers, and they will see no change in how they are supported. We look forward to sharing additional information in the future. Again, like things like the metaverse and these new aspects of AI are all exploratory, so but AI is definitely a succeeding faster pace as an investable vehicle, like I said, in my opinion, than the metaverse. Microsoft has previously announced a round of 10,000 layoffs as part of, yeah, we don't need to repeat that, I guess. Out with the metaverse, in with AI. So here we go. Yeah, so basically I just called it right there. The recent turn of events suggests that Microsoft is taking part of its resources from metaverse initiatives to put into other areas like artificial intelligence, AI. Earlier reports indicate that other metaverse projects have been affected by Microsoft cuts, with employees from metaverse platform Altspace VR, which announced its closure by March, and Mixed Reality Toolkit as also being laid off. Microsoft has been putting funds behind AI-based startups since January. On January 23rd, the company disclosed a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar investment in OpenAI, the company behind the development of GPT-3 and its ChatGPT interface. Also, as part of the partnership, Microsoft recently announced the inclusion of ChatGPT in Bing, its search engine, and also as a part of Edge, its web browser. The company to accompany this move, Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, stated, in quote, AI will fundamentally change every software category, starting with the largest category of all, search. So yeah, that's that there. I'm at least trying to give Google the benefit of the doubt to utilizing the Google Chrome browser still. So, but Bing's awesome also. So yeah, so that's that. Microsoft reportedly shutting down industrial metaverse focus group there. All right, where are we? First weekly, got that. Let's go into this news article here. From the finance sector of Yahoo, Adidas could lose up to $750 million this year from a Yeezy write-off. So this is shifting over into finance markets and stocks and whatnot. This is from Josh Schaefer, producer, writer, reporter for Yahoo Finance, I guess. Ongoing fallout from Adidas' ADDYY decision to end its deal with Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, could see the company report a loss of nearly $750 million this year. The company announced Thursday if it opts not to repurpose any of the inventory from Ye's Yeezy line of its products, it stands to forego as much as $1.29 billion in revenue throughout 2023. If the company chooses this option, Adidas would also take a 500 million hit this year, and additionally 500 million euro, and additionally 200 million off one-off costs, bringing expected 2023 operating losses to 700 million, or about $750 million at current exchange rates in USD. The yearly profit loss would be Adidas's first in 31 years, according to the Financial Times. This number speaks for themselves. We are currently not performing the way we should, Adidas CEO Bjorn Gulden said in a statement. 2023 will be a year of transition to set the base to again be growing and to be a growing and profitable company. We'll put full focus on the consumer, our athletes, our retail partners, and our Adidas employees. Kind of seems like they wasted a lot of time doing like digital collectible NFTs in the metaverse. The company is still reviewing future options, but expects currency neutral states to decline at a high single-digit rate. The news comes less than 4 months after Adidas severed its relationship with Ye. Adidas has built products around Ye since first launching Yeezy in 2015, but the relationship unraveled over the last year as Ye made several public content supporting anti-Semitic rhetoric. Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. The company, they really had no other option. Unless they want to go out of business completely. Ye's recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and they violate the company's values and diversity, inclusion, mutual respect, and fairness. These costs are part of the strategic review the company is currently conducting aimed at reigniting profitable growth as of 2024, the company said in a release. The sports apparel brand is facing more than just issues with Ye. Beyonce's Ivy Park collaboration with Adidas came up $200 million shy of the company's 2022 revenue projections, according to the Wall Street Journal. Adidas announced a $718.6 million preliminary operating profit for 2022 on Thursday. That reflects roughly 2/3 drop in profit on that from 2021. And shares of Adidas fell nearly 9% on Thursday. So yeah, Adidas could lose up to $750 million this year from the Yeezy write-off. Let's go into some tech news, and I'm going to close out the stream for the day after some news over briefs as well. The Indian Express, water on Mars. Here's what NASA's Curiosity rover found. Billions of years ago, waves on the surface of a shallow lake stirred up sediment at the lake bottom over the time, creating rippled textures left in rock, NASA said. This from Express Web Desk. You can listen to it here, but yeah, basically in brief, there's something more here. Yeah, it's got like a big Twitter thing and wedged in the middle of it. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA's Curiosity rover has discovered new evidence that an ancient lake existed in a region of Mars, which was earlier believed to be drier. The rover was traversing through an area of Mars called the sulfate-bearing unit, and researchers previously thought would show evidence of more trickles of water, as scientists believed the rocks were formed as the surface of the red planet was drying out. Instead, they found some of the clearest events of ancient waters. So yeah, he's got some pictures there uploaded on Twitter and post there. This is the end quote. This is the best evidence of water and waves that we've seen in the entire mission, said Ashwin Vasavada, Curiosity's project scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. In a statement, we climbed through thousands of feet of lake deposits and never saw evidence like this, and how we found it in a place we expected to be dry. Billions of years ago, waves on the surface of a shallow lake stirred up sediment at the lake bottom over time, creating rippled textures left in rock, NASA said. Having climbed nearly half a mile above the Mount Sharp's base, the rover found that these rippled rock textures preserve in what's nicknamed the marker band, a thin layer of dark rock that stands out from the rest of the Mount Sharp. The agency said as it climbed higher, it traveled over rocks that would have formed more recently. That's why researchers didn't expect to see such clear markers of a large body of water, the agency added. Curiosity has attempted to extract samples from some of the rocks, but they proved too hard for the rover's drill, according to NASA. So yeah, that's cool right there. Water on Mars, that's what Curiosity found, evidence of billion-year-old wave sediments, or wave evidence. CNBC, we're going to go to this news point, and I'm going to close out the stream for the day. U.S. shoots down a fourth high-altitude object as lawmakers demand more information. It's from Ashley Kaput, a reporter for CNBC. The key points, the U.S. military shot down a fourth unidentified object Sunday and expects to recover it, according to CNBC News. The White House on Friday announced a second object had been shot down over Alaska, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Saturday a U.S. fighter jet shot down a third unidentified object. Officials have yet to release details about the objects that were downed on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The U.S. military shot down a fourth unidentified object Sunday and expects to recover it. Officials said there were no indications of collateral damage and that the object went down in the lake. An F-16 fired an AIM-9X to successfully shoot down an airborne object flying at approximately 20,000 feet above altitude in U.S. Airspace over Lake Huron in the state of Michigan. According to a statement by the Pentagon on Sunday, its path and altitude raised concerns, including that it could be a hazard to civil aviation. Representative Jack Bergman of Michigan confirmed in a tweet Sunday that he had been in contact with the Department of Defense regarding the operation in the Great Lakes region. He said the U.S. decommissioned another object over Lake Huron. The American people deserve far more answers than we have, he wrote in a tweet. American fighter jets have shot down four high-altitude objects in the airspace above the U.S. and Canada last week. The members of the Congress complained that they have not been briefed about the latest incidents. On February 4th, the U.S. military shot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon that had been transiting across the country for several days. The White House announced a second object had been shot down on Friday that was flying over Alaska about 40,000 feet. And the following day, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said that he worked with President Joe Biden in order to order a U.S. fighter jet to shoot down an unidentified object that was flying over the Yukon. Representative Matt Rosendale of Montana said he was advised on Sunday that a fourth high-altitude object existed near Montana. I'm waiting now to receive visual confirmation, he wrote in a tweet, or nation security is my priority. Officials have yet to release many details about the object that were downed on Friday and Saturday, but Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told ABC ABC's This Week Sunday that officials now believe both objects were balloons that were much smaller than the initial spy balloon. Representative Mike Turner of Ohio said he is unaware of what the two latest objects are and that members of Congress did not receive formal briefings about them from the Biden administration. And quote, this could be because they don't have any information, Turner told CNN's State of the Union Sunday. From the press conference we saw, it does seem like they took this action without a real understanding for what they were going after. He said there needs to be more engagement between the Biden administration and Congress, and that the events of last week suggest the U.S. needs to do a better job actively defending Americans' airspace. Turner was critical of the Biden administration for waiting several days to take down the suspected Chinese spy balloon. So he said he would prefer them to be trigger-happy than to be permissive. In a statement Saturday, Pentagon Press Secretary Brig General Pat Ryder said Canadian authorities were conducting recovery operations to help both countries learn more about the nature of the object down in Canada. And Canada's Defense Minister Anita Anand said during a press conference Saturday that it is too early to tell whether or not the object came from China. And quote, from all indications, this object is potentially similar to the one that was shot down off the coast of North Carolina, though smaller in size and cylindrical in nature, Anand said. On Friday, White House spokesperson John Kirby hesitated to characterize the aircraft down over Alaska as a balloon, saying, we're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now. He also said that U.S. officials did not yet know which nation or group was responsible for it. Representative Jim Himes of Connecticut said members of Congress were given a top-secret briefing about the Chinese spy balloon, but that lawmakers have not been directly briefed about the second or third incidents. He said he suspected that since the objects were downed in remote areas, there is not a lot of information to share yet. I have real concerns about why the administration has not been more forthcoming with everything that it knows, Himes told NBC's Meet the Press Sunday. Himes said there's a lot of garbage in the air, and that it's not hard for countries, companies, or even individuals with resources to get objects into the sky. My speculative guess is that my speculative guess as to why we're seeing these things happen in quick succession is that now we're really attuned to looking for them, he said. He urged Americans to resist assuming that there has been an alien invasion or foul play by another nation until more information can be released. Himes said that in the absence of information, people's anxiety can lead them into potentially destructive areas. That's from the Associated Press contributed to this report. So that's all I've got with this closeout on that the U.S. shoots down a fourth high-altitude object as lawmakers demand more information. All right, if you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications right here to Blockchain Tech and Finance. I have all these articles in the description box below. You can research at your own due diligence and do further reading. I'll see you all back tomorrow. Cheers, ciao, peace be with you. Have a great, safe day.